Floors are all cut out. It's a big empty hole. Working on this side here. So I marked out all the pieces I want made into cardboard. Numbering them, marking them where the bend is. So I'm making the cardboard now because I use this cut from the grinder wheel as my template for cutting the cardboard out. So see, I got this cardboard pushed on this line. It's pretty close. And behind these holes is my grinder holes. So it makes it way quick. So I'm gonna finish cutting this one out. I just have this last little cut and then you'll see how close it is. So you can see my grinder marks are not perfect on the lines, but they are perfect on the cardboard. So even if the cardboard is 1/8 of an inch off, it's going to be very quick to fill this in. So since it's got a bend, I'm going to mark this bend with pencil, then write all my details on it. First piece is tacked in. So got it just kind of rolled in where I need it. Didn't line up the best down here, but that's kind of what you get when you're dealing with a larger sheet. So that will take me a lot of time to fill in because it's going to get a lot hotter. But because this lines up so perfect, this lines up so perfect, and this lines up so perfect, I'm willing to sacrifice this probably 1/8 inch gap to accommodate for all this really easy welding here. So I'm just going to keep plugging away, putting in plates. Got the first plate welded in most of the way. Got just a little bit in the corner here. Time to line up the next plate. It's gonna take a little bit of trimming, but we'll be able to get it slid right up into place. Got another piece tacked in there. It's coming along pretty darn good. Before the last piece goes in, I'm gonna treat this body mount with phosphoric acid and paint it with some POR15. Get it all painted up so I don't have to do it later. Got it all acid etched. Got the POR15 on. Setting up now, but I can weld this plate over top while it's setting up. I had to end up heating this last little bit. It was raised up from this, so just put a little bit of heat in here until it got very, very dull red. And then I take a socket and I just beat it slowly like this and it'll just roll it right over. So you don't see a whole bunch of hammer marks that are deep. Really helps out. So I'll get this gap filled and we should be done. Here's the final product. Now that it's dry, I'm gonna put some sound deadening mat on it, but man, this stuff is some hard, slick stuff. I really like it. It's POR15. I mean, it really gets the job done. So if this were on the outside, I'd have to put a top coat on this to protect from UV light, but since I'll be sticking something directly to it, I'm just gonna scuff it up, clean it up, put the mat down. Working on the driver's side now. Have all my templates cut out. Got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can see there's no more holes showing. This is good metal that I've already run the needler on. So you can see this one fits nicely into here. This one's gonna cover up all that. So now I can get to cutting these pockets out. I need to be mindful of my new brake and fuel lines, so I'll probably get a fire extinguisher nearby just in case. And I'll be ready to start cutting. Floor's coming out. Floors are all cut out. It's a big empty hole. And check the drive shaft while you're driving. Oh, she's nice and tight, good to roll. So I managed to cut this all out without nicking any brake lines. There was never a chance of hitting the fuel line, luckily. There was a chance of hitting this power cord right here, but I did end up cutting through this body mount a little bit. I'm just gonna run a weld back on there, but I'm gonna cut off the bad metal here and then do some POR15 on it and then get to making some floorboards. So here's what it looks like zoomed out, just coming along. So here I have the pan with all the different cardboard cutouts. Just kind of showing you why I don't just put the full pan in. So there's a lot of flexing going on, and there's no real good way to get this pan to line up around this edge. So this is where it wants to sit for this part, and I could feed it in to eventually set up over here, but then the distance on this side or the distance in here is way too big. So that's about where it's supposed to be, and you can tell we're just a mile off. So I'm gonna come back till this line's here, and now it's gonna fit a lot better by using my lines. Now that I got this edge cut out, we can kind of see how this fits together. Without that ridge in there, now it's able to squish into place, kind of lay flat, and you know, it kind of allows me to adjust what I need to adjust. Now you could make this all out of cardboard, you could put it on top, you could make this piece, you could push it into place, and then you could mark it out. You could cut your floors then. That'd probably be a much quicker way to do this, but I am gonna end up cutting each individual piece out, and I am gonna go through the excruciating pain of welding it all back together. So really all I'm sacrificing by doing that is welding this and welding this. So that's the only part that I'm really missing out on by cutting it all apart. And if I can sacrifice really good welds, really good joints, and not getting water, sand, dirt packed up in this metal, that's gonna come out in my favor big time. So I'm gonna get to cutting. First piece is tacked in. It's coming out beautifully. Follows the contours, lines up just right, just how I want it. So there's not gonna be any overlapping, just gaps that I gotta fill, which is perfect. That's exactly what I want. So I'm gonna put the rest of the pieces in and then show you what that looks like and then weld it. Floors are all welded in. Time to grind out the welds. Let the acid sit overnight. Came along really good. I was gonna paint it this morning, but I need to pull another vehicle in, get some brakes done on it. So this truck's going out. Making a lot of interior progress here. Trying to get behind the seat now. And this is the general layout, but what I decided I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come straight line off there all the way to here. You can see there's a line that runs all the way along. So I'll need to run new tie downs for the middle seat belt and the other end of the middle seat belt. But so this piece here will all be flat, and then we're gonna go up flat to patch all of this here, and then for the back here, so you see damage here, but this is good. I can fix this a little bit here. But so that side's bad, same over there. Let's take a look over here. Comes in a straight line. See where that seal is where the worst of it is. So we're gonna come right up to here, cut all the way along the edge there, and cut all the way along the edge here, and then put flat plate in there and flat plate in here. So the plan is to put noise deadening mat on top of it and horse mat to cover the entire back. So this is supposed to take a lot of that drum noise and howling and vibration. So that's the plan. A lot of cutting to do, a lot more welding to do. Still have to figure out what I want to do for building a wire harness, but one step at a time. That body mount will hold, right? Oh, I don't think it's actually holding anything. This is how much crap was just in the frames. A lot in there, probably 2 gallons maybe. There's also all of this, so there was a lot. That's why it's all rusted out. The mice get in here, they build themselves some nice warm homes, and it just rots away. So it just made a lot of work for us, but it's gonna be just fine. I'll be able to cut out all this, build it all up. That was a lot of work to get that thing out of there. Had to cut all these rivets off here. You can see them all with the air hammer here, all the way around. You can tell it was doing something even though it was rusty, because check this out. This whole side piece moves now, so it'll be good to cut this bracket out, build up a new bracket, connect the new floor all the way along here to this floor, and now I can cut this out and create a solid base for this repair over here. So making really good progress. Just takes so long. Got myself some 18 gauge. Ended up buying a 10 foot by 4 foot. It ran me $147, which just those two templates up front for the floors were 85 bucks. So that's really bad. I guess I'll be patching that too. List just keeps getting longer. Made that plate, so I'll weld that on top and I'll drill out my hole at the end here. That's not welded in yet, but I'm making this piece here. I have a 1 inch leg, 2 inch leg, 3 1/8 inch leg, 2 inch leg, 1 inch leg. And since I'm building this out of 18 gauge, which is the same as this, if not better, I'm gonna be able to flex it. So it'll fit like this and it'll go straight all the way across to here. So all the way to here, from here to here. So it's gonna fit in there pretty good, pretty snug, and it's gonna weld in just fine. And that will be the repair. Got some welds on that bottom plate, got this plate in, and look, no more flexion here. So just with this weld, this weld, this weld, that weld, I haven't even laid anything on this side. I mean, it is already a lot stiffer. So, and now I can run plating into here, but that's gonna be for another time. I just need to get this covered up. So in order for that to happen, I need to be able to have my body mounts ready to be put in, and that's where we're at. So I'm gonna finish welding this up. I might end up drilling some holes, might not, I don't know. But next I'm gonna get ready to start with this top plate. Making progress, ground off all the spot welds, got that plate in, making a plate for this cross member for the whole bottom part. Got 2 coats of phosphoric acid on. You can see it's starting to blacken up here, so I'm gonna throw a light coat of paint. Got that piece welded in just along this seam here. It's already, I mean, it's not tied into anything here, so it's just flexing this, but once I tie this piece in, holy heck, it's gonna be stronger than before, that's for sure. This stuff is some thick 18 gauge. I know 18 gauge is 18 gauge, and this is measured close to 18 gauge, but I mean, I'm welding it full beads, so this is really gonna be some hefty stuff once it's back together. Getting some plates mocked up, getting them into place. Be tacking them here soon once they're all made up. Big jump, fast forward. So much damn welding has been done. I've been in here seriously for days, just welding non-stop. A lot of stuff needs to be ground down, but this thing is rigid. This piece is welded, nice and rigid. I put a trim piece all the way across, welded that. All these are welded to the cross members, spot welded and welded to the edges. So I'm gonna finish those last few plates and then work on grinding all these welds smooth. And then I have sealer that's gonna go on top of all of this. So I'll show you what all that looks like when it's done. There we go. All welded, all seamed. Here's the truck with some POR15 on it, still wet. Once it dried, put some sound deadening mat on, but all in all, really happy how this project's turning out. As of now, the interior is all together. I just thought I'd put this video together, kind of see how the progress is coming along. Thanks for watching.